Everyone
Do it for the gays and the girls.
Everyone on the internet should be able to hear us. And everywhere else.
Everyone on the internet.
Everyone ever on the internet can now hear our drivel.
We've gone up a few viewers. If you can hear me, please say so in the chat. Welcome to the Heavyweight Gaming channel, where we play lots of tabletop. Hey, Maybonics, yeah.
It's gravy time.
And we've got gravy time. And we had some subscriptions earlier, Blizzard and Wales, and Sawdust. Sawdust is just paying his way sponsorship. Well played, Sawdust, well played. Right, so welcome to the channel. We play lots of tabletop games. We have quite a lot of DnD5e because we love it. It's amazing, and it means number dice as opposed to dice without numbers on. But so welcome. Firstly, social media. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We're all there. Just type in Heavyweight Gaming and you'll find us, and you'll get to see what we're doing or not doing. You can go to our YouTube channel and just type in Heavyweight Gaming again. Yes. And you will get to see our several hundred hours of storytelling that we've been doing since around March. And there are things like Pathfinder 2nd Edition, Carbon 2185, which is Cyberpunk 5e, D&D. There might be one or two of us. Oh, a couple of one-shots on there, Masks. We've done that. And we just started on Friday, which was very successful, the Icewind Dale campaign setting that's just been released, the Rime of the Frost Maiden. That was really good fun, which I get to play a 6'11" Goliath rogue. I'm very happy with my little self. And a great axe, obviously, too. I would like to sneak attack. So I'm looking forward to that.
I was sitting there going, yeah, he knows how to sneak attack properly.
So that's really cool. So we are busy throughout the week doing lots of tabletop. That's all the good stuff. Our sponsors for this evening's show are Ruffworx Creative. If you go to Facebook and put in Ruffworx Creative with an X, not a K, you will find a incredibly talented leatherworker and woodworker. Just look at the photo albums. It's some of the stuff he turns out is absolutely stunning. So please go check them out and have a look. And the other wonderful sponsor is Ashana, who may be or may not be, I haven't checked yet, streaming. She streams Tuesdays as well. She is a very, very talented glass crafter, glass worker. She makes lots of glass figurines, as well as some other variety stuff on her channel. But check out her glass crafting skills. It's really, 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 really cool. And as soon as the plague fucks off, we will get some stuff sent over from Ashana to do a giveaway for you lovely folks. Some little glass dragons and stuff like this. And on the QT... we've been back and forth talking about possibly maybe if she can pull it off doing D&D little glass figurines, so your character done in glass format. Caveated with not the detail of such printing abilities as Hero Forge or other such miniature printers, but really cool representations of your characters. Although we are having to put two figurines together for Orion. So, turns out a 9-foot demon takes a bit more glass. But yeah, so we're looking into that. So hopefully that'll be really cool. But we shall see. So that's it. Social media and sponsors. Do I have anything else? Oh, we have a Patreon. We got a Patreon page. There's a couple of tiers on it, a few dollars. It goes up in dollars, dollar-esque. Because I decided to set it up in the old US version rather than the UK version. So yeah, you can throw a couple of dollars at the channel. We collect it up each month and then we put it into stuff like artwork and such and other things. As a reward, you get a 5th edition e-magazine that is completely filled with all the lore, subclasses, feats, all homebrew, super homebrew, all for Colossus, the world we currently play our games in. Myself and Roberto, aka the Arcane, we write a lot of it. We write all of it, and yeah, we bounce a lot of ideas off each other. And we are currently creating a vast fantasy world for us to play our tabletop games in, and it's getting a bit ridiculous now. So it's actually issue 10 will drop at the end of this month. So you will have. So if that's 10, so there's over 300 pages. Maybe just, actually, I'll go with just 300 pages of lore, feats, classes, etc. written so far, and we are tip of the iceberg. So if you're well into world building and seeing how other people's minds work when they create these things, jump on, throw a couple of dollars at it, and you'll get it every month. It's lovely and wonderful. And we got artwork in that, that's pretty cool. This month is all about the underwater side of Colossus, so you'll get to experience what's going on down there. And then November is the Towan Highlands, so if you're into your Celtic lore and stuff like this, you'll get to see the lovely halflings and gnomes of our world. And December, to finish off the year, will be our Dragonborn. So, yeah, looking forward to that. Right. Well, anything else? Fridays, we just... Rerolls. Fridays, we just started Rime of the Frostmaiden. Check that out on a Friday, 8 o'clock onwards. If you want to donate 200 bits to the channel... I need to get this all condensed. 200 bits to the channel. You will give this lovely bunch of lunatics a free reroll to use throughout the session. It has to be used this session. They can only have 5 at one time, and they cannot use it on any of the DM's rolls. So yes, 200 bits, kids. That's all they need to save their life, maybe, possibly. Not this Wednesday, probably the Wednesday after. I'll get it 100% confirmed. We will be reviewing a Kickstarter. Someone who has written over 300 pages for this setting of Dalarenth. I will grab a link shortly and put it up either at the break or just after. They have created their own substantial amount of 5th edition content. They've got a Kickstarter on it. They're halfway through the Kickstarter timeline and goal. So far, the stuff. Yes, Mabonics, you have your 200 bits, kids. Make a note. You got a free reroll already. So we will be reviewing that Kickstarter a week tomorrow, where we will run a one-shot with pre-generated character, races, classes, etc. from said content, and yeah, that's that. So right, is that everything, Mel? Am I done? Cool. Right.
You're allowed. I'm just trying to put it off. That's all.
If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're not, well, good. Right, so we shall have a recap. This lovely bunch, well, not the original bunch, but they're the original bunch for now. They are currently... Syrinscape. We use Syrinscape for all our background music.
We were so close.
So close, so close, so close. Right, back in day, I just played D&D. Now people got to know stuff. Right, so in chat, if it's too loud, please let me know. If it's too quiet, please let me know, because it's on the same mixer as the players. So I will just adjust it accordingly. Please be patient. Love you all. So, this lot are currently in the Forest of Copper. The Jesuit has asked them to take... Why don't I bring this up so I can read it properly? The Grove of Anchors within the Copper Forest is how the forest itself is kept apart from the material realm. The Jesuit, who is the archfey of the forest, has asked the party, or did ask the party, to check it out, have a look, because of the incursions from Ulric and the northern houses. That'll be a bit loud. The reason they were in the Copper Forest is due to the civil war that is happening within Ravenholm, and at the core of the conflict is ownership over the Copper Forest. The northern houses have decided that they will now take the Copper Forest for themselves. The two southern houses less so, and wish an alliance with the Copper Forest, a true alliance. And the House of Eagles in the east cares not for the civil war, has told them to sort themselves out like the naughty children they are, whilst they defend the entire country against invading demons, as everyone does on a weekday. The party accepted, and with the aid of a guide, Toodles, they went to the Grove of Anchors. When they got there were 3 creatures that seemed to be tethered to the anchor totems that were in the grove. Map made by Incarnate, it's beautiful, I'll put it up there. And we've already had somebody banned, brilliant. Whilst they were at the Grove of Anchors, the 3 creatures that were tethered, the party engaged in combat with. They managed to sever...
There we go, banned.
There we go.
Here we go.
Oh, here we go.
Alright, mate, keep going.
They managed
Go, Mel,
to
go.
sever 2 of the threads from the anchors to the creatures, and then defeat the creatures themselves. The third anchor, when they attempted to rush it, defend it, attack the creature, they did so through a barrier of hurricane-like esque wall of air. Kesvion managed to force their way through with their incredible elven fae-like strength, and engage with the air elemental that was on the other side. The air elemental was successful in its ritual upon the totem, as its thread was not severed. It then cast its magics to return to its plane, and unfortunately Kesvion was within range and disappeared with said air elemental. So, we left it with the air elemental wanting a word with Kesvion, and the rest of the party, after a pretty up and down fight. Sapphire spent basically a lot of time doing push-ups. They are out of combat. You are in the Grove of Anchors within the Copper Forest. There is a serene feeling. There is no Kesvion. Xandria, you are conscious if you weren't at the end. I can't remember if you came conscious.
No, I'm conscious because I'm on 24 hit points, so I'm clearly alive and moving.
After Xandria tried to force her way through the wall of air, unfortunately her physicality was unable to allow her to do so, because roleplay, yo. We will start with the party in the Grove of Anchors within the Forest of Copper. 3, 2, 1, go.
Well, that was a shit show.
Still out of it.
Thank
I
you.
mean, it was definitely something, but they're all gone, so I'm assuming job done. I don't see any others. And as I cast my eyes around, I clock everyone bar Kess. Where's Kess? Was Kess not with you?
He was, but he left like about a few minutes ago to go in the other direction. I went down to help these two. We literally were both like in the middle. Did he
I don't know, I was unconscious half the time, in all honesty.
Yeah, I went down too.
I don't feel quite so bad then.
Nobody had an eye on my brother. I'm just going to look at the area where the wall of air was and just very loudly, Kesvion!
Towards the wall, the darkness that was there before has gone. The wall of air is no longer there, and you can see around the totem that is similar to the other two that you were fighting around. There are visible wisps of a powder blue air swirling around the now mundane-looking totem. As you notice the two that you were in before, they were very clearly an enchanted item filled with magic, for whatever reason within this grove. But this one just looks like a wooden pole sticking out the ground. You see some sort of imagery beyond it, as if there is a movie-like scene going on beyond the totem that you can't quite make out from where you are talking with them in the central area of the grove. But there is definitely movement in said portal scene.
So the wall of wind has disappeared.
Correct.
Okay, in that case, I'm going to walk into the area then. If there's nothing physically stopping me getting into the area, then I'm going to walk straight up to that totem pole.
Being fair yourself, the difference of atmosphere, environment, ambience, whatever terminologies Andrew would use to describe this change from where she's just been stood to walking through that small corridor of trees into this area where the totem was placed. There is a very, very obvious change in it. Almost feels like you're back in the material realm, just not quite. Like you're on the porchway.
Yeah.
The image beyond, you see the forest of Ravenholm stretching far, far and wide. In the distance, there is a huge wall of ivory, golden banners flapping in the wings, and a mighty eagle on each banner. Moving through the forests, you notice there are creatures from the Fair Realms, some you recognise, some you have no idea, others you can assume are from stories told by humans and fit some of your fireside stories from back home. But there are creatures from the Fair Realm moving through the Copper Forest towards this ivory wall in the distance. And these creatures, you are quite aware, are generally kept away within the Fair Realms and away from the material realm. Only the odd one might get out to generate such stories amongst the mortal folk. But now there seems to be quite a mass of them. Trees moving with some of the bigger ones, others you can see nipping through, some as small as little pixies flying around, others quite large in nature. No sign of Kesvion. Just an elemental blue wisp of air fading gently away from the totem.
Could I go investigate the little blue particle things?
Yep, you can. Roll an Arcana check.
Being a blood hunter, I get advantage on intelligence ability. As what? You have advantage on wisdom survival checks, or as well as intelligence ability checks to recall information about it.
Okay, is that just anything and everything, or just
that's
specific to your order?
That's all blood hunters, I think.
Okay, cool. So yeah, you can have a cheeky check around the totem pole.
Okay. With advantage then?
Yep. If your class says so.
Oh, I rolled 2 3s.
Jeez. Probably not then.
Really not.
Well, I'm coming back, guys. I guess I better just roll a new character. Jeez.
What's
I tried.
What's your total?
Oh, is it adding Arcana?
Yeah.
Yes.
6.
Well.
Plus 3 is usually pretty good, though.
That's true. So, Orion, you come past Xandria to the totem pole, and the wisps of low elemental air that are slowly fading. You kind of try and catch them, and it is literally like trying to catch smoke. And as you grab them, they just away from your fingertips and hands. Nothing jumps out at you immediately. The only thing you do notice, again probably because of your nature and such plainer blood running through you, is that there's a difference of, it's like opening the door. You've been really warm inside, and then it's really cold when you open the door. You get that noticeable feeling of the weird fair realm that you were just in that made you go sleepy. Doesn't feel like that. It feels like you're back out of the fair realm, or at least about to be, in this glade where this totem is.
So I will sort of kneel down to the ground, put my hand on the ground, and then sort of like look back up at the others. The magic in this section has been drained. It's like a pressure change. Something tells me whatever was attached to this totem pole succeeded in what it was supposed to be doing.
If Harry steps up to try and look at the area, his eyes are going to go immediately to that portal. Because I'm going to guess he's going to recognise what's through the other side of it.
Obviously, or any of you, Orion, Harry, when you walk in, you see the same. It is just playing out. Fake creatures making their way through the forest towards a massive ivory wall, golden banners with a mighty eagle on each banner. Means nothing to you, Orion. In fact, give me a history check.
I could use different dice. Ooh, 22.
Oh, cool. So within Ravenholm itself, the ivory wall is quite a well-known thing. Thank you. It's quite a well-known thing. It is the eastern wall that was built by Ravenholm and the dwarfs of Azurite to protect Ravenholm from fiends attacking from the east. The wall stands. It is alleged that the soul of an ivory dragon is what gives it its unbreakable architecture, and the fiends are from a time when Reinhardt was still alive and their empire was vast, and that is like a couple of thousand years ago, and they're in a perpetual cycle of smashing the wall to bits. You're quite the historian, Oriel.
I can't do what I'm actually here for, but I can think of history and.
Remember that thing in the
yeah.
pub, you know what I mean? Got it on back of a fag packet, it was brilliant.
Okay.
Sapphire's very confused by all this and just, what is going on with it? What? Too many things.
Well, the main things to take away from this is one, the magic here has been leached, and that means that the barrier between the Feywilds and Ravenholm is now thinner, which means creatures of the Feywilds will be finding their way into Ravenholm. And I don't mean the tiny little redcaps, I'm talking much more dangerous creatures. And
Kind of
two,
indicates towards the scene that you can see playing out. That looks a little bit worse than last time I was there.
and two, Kesvion is missing. I'm going to take a guess that whatever was here has taken him. Or something working in league.
Is there any way we know where it could have gone? Like, you'll probably go and like look around, see if there's anything else that you can see, like in the sort of little portal-y bit, in the sort of anything else that you can kind of see, investigating to try and see what's happened. And
You could give me an investigation roll.
you could try, because I might not know very much about magic. Ooh, that ain't bad though. What are we on? We're on a 16.
So look, you immediately like to the portal, and you look around. You kind of go around the back of it, and there's nothing there. It just seems to be a scene manifest or apparated before you, just beyond the totem pole. But there's nothing behind it, nothing holding it up. There's no source of magic that you can see, find. No sign of Kesvion's tracks. You notice the steps in the dirt that are similar to your own in the way you would move if attacking somebody with finesse rather than brute force, but they stop just before the totem pole and go nowhere else in the small glade. And that's about it.
He'll point out the steps and be like, that looks like that might have been Cass fighting whatever it was. It stops literally just before the totem pole.
Is there any way we can track where this thing has gone? Sapphire's going to walk up and look at the totem pole because he has no idea how to do that. But he's like, he's going to run his hands over it, look very closely.
The carvings on the totem pole are of 4 creatures. An owlbear, a elephant, a phoenix, and a osprey. You know the Seahawks? They are the animals that are carved into this wooden totem pole. The design around them, it is a long pole with them carved in rather than them stuck on. It's straight up. There's a beam at the top that comes out, and the what's the word? Fetishes that hang off from it are of a nature you do not recognise, but they are quite colourful and quite animalistic from wherever cultural place they are. Sapphire is unknown. It is unknown to Sapphire, but it just looks like a giant wooden pole.
When Sapphire said there's any way to track where they went, I'm supposed to be good at that, so I'll try track where they went.
Okay, how are you tracking? Are you going to use your survival skills?
Yes, because I have advantage if it's a fey creature.
Track that fey.
Come on. Oh, 18, so 18 plus 6.
24.
Yeah.
Cool. So
For you.
after the news that Harry drops, you literally I say fall low to the ground. He's still probably 5 foot off the ground. You see the footprints that Ari was talking about. You follow them back out down the corridor of trees to where you lot were fighting. You notice where Kesvion was before, and you match them perfectly. 100%, it's Kesvion. What you managed to attain from the scene is Kesvion came running through here, struggled in the corridor of trees, and dug deeper into the dirt to force himself forwards from whatever was making him do so. When he got to the totem pole, no combat happened. He just disappeared, or his prints tracks disappear. Whatever the creature was before him did not make any footprints on the floor, but there are swirls of where the leaves and such have been something twirling air has disturbed, as if it was floating and creating a small, very small vortex beneath it.
Right.
But of where he's gone, he was here, now he's not.
I can only assume that whatever the thing was took Kes with him. Seeing how it just looks like they both disappeared from nothing.
Rainbow Squad, Detective Squad, solve it again.
Don't worry, we
Inspector Gadget.
Sapphire's going to do the only other thing he thinks might work, and he's going to try and use his amulet to see if there's any echo-based things he can follow. I don't think that actually works, but Sapphire's going to try.
When you try it within the Fur Realm, it's as if you just have a stone hanging from your chin. It doesn't react at all.
Just like everyone else looking, he's like lifts his amulet up and he's kind of focusing on it, and then he kind of looks at it, starts
rubbing it. Switch the batteries
thing
round.
on.
Switch the batteries round.
like the batteries are on. Oh, that's fun.
So we have no leads on what was actually here. Therefore, we have no leads on where Kesvion has been taken.
No, nothing.
There's no tracks though. It's weird.
No, so whatever took him didn't physically take him anywhere. Whatever has him clearly just teleported. Whether or not they used a spell or, an inherent ability. But it's obvious that he did not leave this area the same way that he came in.
Yeah. It's just so bizarre. Because everything else was like a physical thing. So I don't get why there would be nothing physically there to look at, but I also don't understand why there's suddenly a picture of what's going on the other side of Ravenholm. Like,
I think that is down to the fact that the barrier between the two is weak enough for us to see. Bless you.
Thank you. Sorry.
it's
Wait, so how far away is what's going on there? That big wall, where's that?
you know how I said when you were talking about the school that you wanted to go to, it's literally the other side of Ravenholm.
Yeah.
That's near where I grew up. That's where I grew up, basically. So that is the other side of Ravenholm from where we were. It's like 1,000 miles away.
Is this just a projection or an actual portal?
I don't know.
It
I'm gonna
appeared,
go
when
and-
you were checking out, it appears to be a projection.
Oh, I wanted to try throw a rock through it, but sure.
It's literally what I was going to say, yeah.
Like,
Ari's on the other side, brick to the face.
Don't do that. I like my face.
Okay. So I don't know a whole lot about what's going on in this place. I know you guys are teaching me slowly, but I feel like Espeon needs to be the focus.
Yeah.
well, yes.
So
That wasn't that is literally the only option right now. Everything else, in my opinion, is getting put onto a back burner until we find him.
Okay, so who's good with magic and can trace it? I don't know how it works. I don't know how teleporting works. Is it teleporting?
There's
no trap.
There's a shuffling in the foliage behind you, and you see Toodles.
Toodles!
With her hand in the air. I'm pretty good with magic.
You are, because you're also of this forest.
I can
idea
try and cast
where...
sending to him if you want.
That would be a rather helpful thing to try, yes.
There's a small chance it won't work if he's not on the same plane as me, but it should, you know, as long as it's...
Well, if he doesn't reply, then we know he's not on this plane of existence, which kind of narrows it down by about 1%.
That's very true. What do you want me to say? I can say a few words. Maybe 20, 25.
Kesvion, describe your location. What has taken you? I got 8. That's as far as we got. We're 25. 8.
Just don't say
miss you.
Is that it? You happy with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Guess we on. Roll me a D100.
You want a D100?
No, but I
Roll
want
me 2 D10s.
2 D percentiles, so... 93.
Jesus. There is where you are. So we'll go to... which means my other notes. There we go.
All this investigation is making me thirsty. Jesus.
So when you came through, and you stood with the solid clouds beneath your feet, as surreal as it is, and you look about you. Let me get. Sorry, we'll come back to that. That is not what I wanted. Oh yeah, that'll do.
The name of Kess's autobiography? That's not what I wanted.
There are sounds all around you that you can't pinpoint what's making them, whether they be animalistic or just weather orientated. Huge chunks of rock and earth hang in the what is presumed air, surrounded by clouds and rushing winds for miles and miles and miles. Upon them there looks to be some sort of abodes, very small, multiples of them, but they're not like villages and towns. It's just the odd hut here and there. They seem to be, from immediate glance, they start small at the bottom and spread out a little bit, as if in the shape of a tornado or a hurricane. The abodes are of a similar look. What you do notice about a lot of these huge chunks of rock and earth hanging in the air is they seem to, similar to the geography back on the material realm, they have rivers and waterfalls, but where there is no water, there is thick streams of blue and white air, thick enough that you can see it winding like a river down off the rocks, and these huge upside down mountains that are just hanging, and these rivers and airfalls of air just cascade about into and then just thin out into nothingness, as if the air around you is the ocean beneath. Upon the horizon you can see it. There is a hurricane storm of gargantuan proportions, so far away that you can't hear the noise that you are very sure it would make, but it's obviously big enough that you can see it. So that gives you some understanding of how large this is. At the centre of it there appears to be a large sphere of lightning. Bear in mind this is on the horizon. Give me a what is better for you, history or arcana?
Neither, because those are intelligence.
checks. They're both shite. So.
Which one would you like to roll?
Let's go for history, I guess.
Cool.
He's not really a magic lad.
Give me a history check.
It's not a history lad either, but you know.
No, but he's best of a bad bunch.
Remember, we have a reroll.
You're going to use it on a history check.
I'm not going to use it on a history check, no matter how bad that was with a 4.
Yeah, there's a large sphere of lightning in a hurricane miles away from you.
Fantastic.
All about you in the sky are ethereal creatures akin to those of the sea, but they have no scales. They are almost invisible. Some of them are as translucent as just an outline. Others are a bit thicker but still have that see-through nature to them. You see no entity where all around you, looking at this vast openness of sky, do any of the wildlife or people around, or humanoids that you can see doing their thing on these large mountains and such, any of them have wings. There are no wings. Before you is a very large air elemental that you were quite familiar with as you ran at them moments ago in the Forest of Copper. They are that deep lightning blue, fade into lighter shades of blue and white to form their humanoid shape. They have armour upon them that is similar to that of a Toria, with the muscle caress and pauldrons and such. There is no features beyond the door, the smooth curved helm that is open at the face but protects the cheeks, and the horsehair that you would see on some helmets is just a wisping white cloud that just pours out from the back and has a bit of a shimmer to it as it moves. It is the elemental that said to you a word when you last upon. The sounds that you are hearing about you echo the sounds of animals from over Colossus. Yet you see no. If you hear the noise of a lion or a monkey or a bird, you can't see it. It's as if the ambient nature of the plane of air is surrounded by echoes of the material realm. The Myrmidon waves their arm after saying a word, and from the clouds manifests a large table, it seems, or bench. Looks like a table to you, a bench to them. And they sit without the ability to have ass and legs. What a shame. But they curve their features to place themselves upon this large cloud-based structure. And then just pat next to them. It's very nice for a large warrior air elemental.
I don't know. Have you ever got on a train and someone pats the seat beside them? The last thing you do is sit on. After they've kidnapped you to another plane of existence.
Come, sit with me.
You're like,
Stranger danger. Stranger danger.
Stranger, yeah.
I do it when I want to sit by myself.
Case in point. I think Kess will kind of try and sort of still probably in a bit of a defensive position at this point, because he's just appeared
with swords.
Yeah, and kind of like tries to take a little bit of like the sum of kind of this character, see if they're trying to like trick him.
Give me an insight check.
Let's not roll that one. Slightly better. That is a 13.
13. There is. I mean, you're staring at an air elemental, so the features that you'd usually read on.
Like body language wise.
Yeah, it's floating air. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah, but it's still got shoulders.
They have.
Like...
Yes, it has. I would say that you are aware that there is no intent from this creature before you. You can put that down to supreme confidence in its surroundings, i.e. you're on its home turf. Whether there's intent to harm, there's no obvious sign, or whether there's intent to be nice, there's no obvious sign.
Okay.
But there is a confidence about the creature that there's no...
It's not... It could immediately yeet me into the abyss without inviting me over there first.
If you believe so, but it does think that.
He will kind of like slowly lower scimitars and kind of like almost like side edge forward, as if like he's not quite come out of like the sort of defensive stance, but like slowly kind of like moving out of it as he kind of gets closer, and will kind of sheath as he gets to about within 5 foot ish away from
it.
His host, yeah. His new pal.
You are not of the Copper Forest. Why defend it?
You're not of that plane. Why attack it?
Insight check. As it says nothing but its body movement. Twitches.
There's a shimmy.
Okay, that's the 16. Mel, have you been touching my dice?
Oh!
Wow. Sure we can make some money off that. The creature is not overly keen on mentioning its previous location. I was following orders, and does not like saying that sentence, as if it was not happy with the orders.
Makes the two of us. Alright. An attack on one forest will be an attack on them all eventually. We have to protect our brothers and sisters.
Your opinion of... And there is a hiss as it says Ulric Steinson.
Scum.
The creature rises off the off its cloud bench, and as if a warrior would stand proud and stick their chest out, you get that same sort of feeling. And it just sort of hisses, and there is a bluster, the cloud swirls up. There is definitely something going on with the elemental before you at the reaction of your dislike for Ulric. A heartbeat, and it sits back. You and I share opinion. And then its hand snakes out and catches something in midair. Right? Just as it's coming to, like, right in front of your face. And then when it opens its hand, words appear, made by the air itself, as if Gandalf's blown a message through smoke. And you see the message that was sent to you by arcane means, which is Andrea saying, "Where the fuck are you? What does it look like?"
I guess I read these smoke words and just like... My sister will be worried. Do you know how
Are you going to respond with your 25 words?
I didn't know I could respond! You just said that there was words there!
So you can
Not
respond.
bad, yeah.
You didn't say you can respond to it, you're just like, Here's the
I
word.
was thinking for meta, Luke. Help me out here, lad.
I'm not going to metagame you.
So, Toodles.
Not when I'm playing a dumb bitch.
Toodles adds to the message. You can respond to this.
To this message. Do I have to respond straight away? Because he has no idea where the fuck he is.
You do, otherwise the magic will just fade. Your next
Cool.
25 words will be the response. That's one. Even the
and that's
chat is
it.
saying one word.
This is,
I'm trying to work out how many. I was like adding stuff up on.
That's 13 words.
You're the worst.
And
No,
that's 25.
fine then.
And you're the
Hell mend you all. Hell mend you all.
Oh, jeez.
So what is your response, guess, after we've stopped being bastards?
Tempted just to say, and I'm staying on the clouds. This guy seems chill. Stuff the lot.
Screw you
We
guys,
wouldn't do
I'm
that.
going home.
No. No idea. Lots of clouds. Ulric made the air warrior do it, trying to get home.
As you're saying that, the words form in the same smokiness and form the words and then and disappear in the air beneath, before you. Toodles will
Where are we?
report, said message. He says this, and then we'll repeat what Kesvion said. Throwing in Ulric there, I was like, I hope he adds something else to that. Ulric's here.
Ulric's
Yeah.
Fuck. Upon hearing those words, could I make a deduction from the term air warrior and clouds where he might be? If I do like an arcana check or something of similar nature to
I will say that the fact that it's elemental, an air warrior, clouds, you are
Not on this
you are a
plane.
creature of a different realm anyway.
yeah.
So what's your intelligence?
The number or the modifier?
The number. That'll tell me the modifier.
The 11?
Yeah, you're all right. Yeah, you can deduct that it's probably on a different realm / plane that is filled with clouds and air.
So the airplane.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not to be confused with the aeroplane, just the airplane.
No, you're on Ryanair.
Orion
These
air.
stuff then.
Orion air.
Orion
Okay.
air. There we go.
So so upon hearing those, I will just kind of give a heavy sigh. He's been taken to the plane of air, which explains why he does not have any footsteps beyond those ones.
well, that's awesome. We know where he is. We can just go there and. How do we get there?
Fly.
When even Orion's like,
I was trying so hard not to go by plane. So.
The elemental air of plane is not something you tread into lightly.
The elemental air of plane.
We all reacted to it, but no one said anything. It's
Somebody
waiting.
clip that, please.
Would Orion know by chance? I don't know.
Yeah, give me an Arcana check.
Sure thing. Wait, let's see if I get advantage.
double threes.
I do not.
I was gonna say, would Ari know anything about it?
No, it was a 2. So
Wait.
total of 5.
Walk,
I
maybe?
apparently do not care for guests. Not trying very hard.
Would Ari have heard of any of it in terms of the wizards around, etc.?
Ari is fully aware that wizards can do anything. So, literally, the majority of folk in Ravenholm that aren't wizards know that if they need something doing beyond their capabilities, a wizard can do it.
A wizard, yeah.
We did it, wizards.
In wizards.
Well, from my understanding of getting to an elemental plane, you can get there with certain magics, but they're nothing that we currently have access to.
Toodles shakes
Yeah.
her head as well.
Need a wizard for that.
We need a rather powerful arcane caster to be able to open up a gateway to that plane and be able to bring Kesvion back, unless he can potentially find his own way back. Whatever brought him there should be able to send him back.
Could we ask the Jesuit, was that their name?
We could ask the Jesuit. I'm not sure how much help she would be. It's not exactly her realm, so I'm not sure how much help she could be. Unless she has the access to the magics that we need, which is potential, but I'm not pinning all of my hopes on the Jesuit being able to fix this one. If anything, Kess will be able to find his way home. He just has to be smart and use his skills. Look, he might come across as dumb, but he's got a good head on his shoulders.
It holds a hat.
But it's
I'm being
smart
nice to you. Just accept the nice compliment.
While you're not there.
I'm also reluctant to move too far from here to go find the Jesuit or anything, because if he's trying to get back, don't want to lose him in the forest.
Gets back, you're all pissed off.
Bye. Because I would imagine that if he's been taken from here and this is like the weakest point, as you pointed out, this would be the point where he'd pop back in again, fingers crossed.
In theory, yes. If this is the place he was taken, then this is the... And then I will literally, with my hands, go, if you imagine this is us and this is the plane of air, this is the point. It's almost like a parallel. Shall we call it a tunnel? You know, if he maneuvers to somewhere else within the plane of air, then he will teleport from that place to the corresponding place in relation on our plane.
Some big words. Yeah, okay.
Me go up.
Me go up.
Can we just jump?
Do we just need to... So, seriously, do we just need to wait here? Because sitting and waiting is hard when you're worried about people. Do we have anything else we can do while we wait for Cass?
Orion,
We could
can you
take
give me
a
a
break.
perception check while they're talking?
Oh, cool.
We,
Yeah, sure.
we could do with potentially taking a rest
Of a short nature.
of a short or long nature.
I would.
I
yeah.
got a 12.
12? That's alright. You, looking back towards the other two Totans, you see walking towards the area the large, long, blonde, braided-haired Kalain the Lancelord, silver gold plate armor, silver white gold chain, looking his very stunning, glorious self. As he comes into the glade where you are, you visibly watch the glamour fade away from him. And he still stands there in white gold armor and such. It doesn't have its, glowing lights about it. And it's covered in blood, visceral, dents, scratches. His face is grubby as if he's just spent a fair amount of time in the trenches. And he is standing before you all. And his lance is resting on his shoulder. And he just stands waiting for you to talk to him rather than him talking to you.
Well, you look like you've been through shit.
I have. Shit is a word I've not used for a while, but yes. He's looking around. 2 out of the 3 of the anchors are intact, and I thank you for that. Where is... And looks around. And looks at you as Andrea, but doesn't finish his sentence.
He has been transported to the plane of air. The creature that was tethered to this anchor, the one that has taken the magics from it, has also taken Kesvion.
Well, looks at Orion. Shit. Is it an enemy or friend?
We don't know, but given the defenses that they put into place to stop us getting through to them, I'm inclined to say enemy.
For a brief second, Kalane looks at the floor, then back at yourself. Ulric's forces are within the forest. The breach is, imagine a very long tear throughout the realm. The Jezerit themselves are wandering said breach. Never has the Jezerit had to interfere with such things from the material realm. Ulric is pushing hard. We need to get you all back away from the Grove of Anchors. I have companions arriving to defend the other two totems.
I humbly request, Kalane, that you take the others, but that I remain here. If Kesvion is to return from the plane of air, then I imagine his return will bring him back here. I wouldn't want him to return alone.
Kalane nods. And puts his hand out, and from his hand there is a long blonde braid that is clean and the exact match to his own. This is not a reward, as I believe you will turn it aside. It is a thank you, and he will hand you a lock of his hair. Attune yourselves to it, and I will grant you some of my power once a day. And it looks around all of you as if to say, any of you.
This is a great, for lack of better words, gift that you have bestowed upon us, Kalane. Thank you.
I've only ever seen braids given as flirting, so this is very interesting.
I don't think he's flirting with you.
I was hoping not, but not that there's anything wrong with you. It's just this was a really weird time to be flirting.
Who gives hair to flirt with people?
Oh, we cut up, like, back in Viconia, we sometimes cut off our braids and give them...
Well, then why don't you have the hair?
Sure, if that's what everyone wants.
Arian is weirded out by the hair gift.
You can remain, Xandria. If your companions wish to remain with you, so be it. I must return to the breach and help the Jezerit. The strange arcane slingers of the lilies are more powerful than I first anticipated. Their wizarding skills are beyond that of many of the natural skills of the creatures around and upon and within our forest. With the material realm being thinner, and then gestures towards the obvious where you are right now, keeping Ulric and his forces at bay will be difficult.
If Kesvion does not return within the next 8 to 12 hours, then we will leave this area and we will immediately come to help yourself and the Jezerit and the rest of the Copper Forest to defend the breach. But I have to give Kesvion... Kesvion needs to have someone here for him.
Understandable. No, I must return. Keep safe. And he just nods at you all, walks back, and you see again the glamour retake hold, and super shiny Kalane the Lance Lord wanders off through the woods, trees, and disappears Toodle's just sort of like rocking. So I'll hang around if you want to help you get back to where you need to go. You know yourself, you get lost sometimes around here, so... And I could do with a rest as well, to be honest.
I think the best thing for us to do is, whilst we do wait to see if Kestrian returns, is take that rest whilst we can.
I'm gonna need it.
So, do you remain... So you're remaining within the Grove of Anchors. Are you remaining in the thin material realm place, or back in the fair place of the other two totems? Yeah.
I mean, now he's gonna be
They're
happier
up.
in the thinner place.
I
But
was going to say there are pros and cons to being in both.
Yes, there is, and I've written both.
It's which one is going to cause less problems. So let's see. If you stay in the one where, if you stay near the two totems that are the Feywilds, then you have to deal with the Feywild creatures. If you stay in the one where the material plane is thinner, then you have that whole bag of tricks to deal with. So it's which is the lesser of two evils at this point. And I
I need to
am
know.
Well, the Feywild can change. So probably best to stay by this one with Cat, in case Kess comes. In case we can't get back here. I should have said that in character voice, but here we are.
here we are.
at least
I was
you have
gonna
a character voice. I just haven't.
I was gonna suggest that we stay right where we are.
I would agree. Colleen said he was sending folk through to protect the two anchors, and I think that we can be of use to try and protect this anchor until Cass comes back. We'll try and protect this area and try to not let anything else go further in.
We should also have a rest while we wait, if we can. I know some of us got a little beat up.
Yeah, I think that
Just
is
a
good
little.
plan.
Just a little bit.
But I would
Just
definitely
smidge.
say let's take watches because
Yeah,
No,
we'll go to
no.
sleep in the Feywild. Yeah.
Could possibly
What you on
go
about? It's
wrong.
lovely here.
Oh yeah, nothing but shiny, peaceful rests. So you're going to remain near the totem where Kess was taken, yep? So the
Yep.
more thinner material area. Cool. Are you planning on long resting?
Yeah.
Or as best you
Long
can
rest?
until,
Okay,
until
sure.
Kess? Right, it's up to yourself.
long as we c-
If that's your plan,
I was gonna say a long rest for me is 4 hours, so
What time of day is it? Because then we can just do a short rest.
you have no idea.
It's Copper Forest.
Oh.
yeah,
See,
the time here is finicky.
You
Wobbly,
feel
wobbly.
quite exhausted, but you have just been smashed to bits several times.
Body clock, what does that say?
Your body clock says I've been beaten up.
Okay.
have a sleep.
So where
New
normally
batteries.
where normally you would be, I'm getting a bit tired now. I must have been awake a while. The adrenaline and exhaustion of the last like 36 seconds has kind of taken a toll within the fair realm as well. Your body clock is just spinning. There's a element of yes, I'm tired. If I try to sleep, I know I will. But the same, you get the feeling that if you try to stay awake, you'd have the energy to do so.
Okay.
Well, once we've set up and established things, like, so it sounds like we're going for a short rest and then trying for longer if we can. Is that the plan?
Yeah, I think
Because a long
I'd
rest would
like
be
to
great.
be able to heal people again, which will only happen if I have a proper sleep. So
Okay.
that would be good.
Okay. Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Sleep and taking watches is good. Okay.
So, you're gonna attempt a long rest with watches, yeah? Cool. As you go through that thought process and that planning of who's going to take the watch, you can't help but notice, it seems to have come up on you quite quickly, that there is an evening element to the forest about you, and that the wildlife mimics owls and such. And you don't remember it happening in the last, say, 20 minutes that you've been sorting out where to lay your head for the foreseeable future, and sorting out who's going to do what on what watch. but it does feel like there is an evening presence to the Copper Forest as you all sort of settle and go, oh, it's evening time. And you begin your long rest. Do not take that box until after this, so.
I figured that would be the case.
Yeah, I mean, the use of attempt a long rest was,
Attempt,
yeah, exactly,
was
yeah.
noted.
Kelly.
Mr. Kesvion.
I'm in danger.
I'm in danger.
That completely depends on Kesvion's ability to be charismatic.
Oh, fuck, we're
Oh,
fucked.
I've got charisma up the wazoo. I'm just not very good at like using it for anything apart from looming.
So,
So
you sent your message back to Toodles. Obviously,
Yep.
time is great when you split the party. And granted, it wasn't your fault. So I've sent your message back to say there's clouds and a big lad that's made of air.
and
you-
he seems chill.
And he
I
seems
did
chill.
say that, though that was ignored by the rest of the party.
yeah.
Just saying.
I'm sorry, he stole my baby brother. Not chill.
So, Ulric is scum to you.
Yes.
Took your time answering that, was it? Where's he going with this?
It was like, oh, that's that's what I said.
There is a long drawn out sigh of not relief but close as you see the shoulders and large torso sort of just slump in a little bit of relaxation. You and your companions are powerful. The creatures Ulric commanded to take the grove you defeated. I would ask
You did.
aid if you are able to give.
It depends. I would love to say yes, but we need to undo what it was that Ulric made you do, and I need to return to my companions.
Return is easy. Undo what Ulric has done is not. Ulric holds my... And the sounds of air pass through as if speaking a primordial language, which I do not believe you speak.
I don't.
But they are...
Funny that.
They are clearly searching for the common.
It's ladle. No,
Sounds
it's
like
gone.
strudel. Ulric holds my people hostage.
It seems like that is something that he is fond of doing.
You see the Yamar, and he just waves his hand, and you just follow his point.
You're like, this
And-
is clearly your mark. Cool.
And you
Noted.
see all around the mountains, and these huge upside down mountains that are floating everywhere, and smaller, almost room-sized rocks with the odd tree on them and stuff. You see guts, quite large guts, big enough to say you could use as a mount, large, not enormous like terrifying fire-breathing dragon guts, which is definitely
To be
getting
honest-
on brewed. Somebody make a note.
A goat that is big enough for like a 6'2" elf-ish adjacent person to is still a pretty ruddy big goat.
Come
I
on,
don't know if
late,
you've ever
man.
been face to face with a goat, but the small ones are a bit creepy. Yeah.
Stay out the field. Look, stay out the field. You see these goats, and they are leaping from mountain to mountain. And the distance between this leap is borderline flight, but you see that they are indeed leaping, not flying. The Yamar are sacred creatures of our world. Ulric holds their life in his hands.
How?
He holds the horn of the first Yamar. A Yamar from the material realm. The essence of all Yamar are within the horn. If it is broken or damaged, then so too are the Yamar.
And that is how he was able to blackmail you to do what you were made to do.
You get the feeling that he starts going on a bit of a rant and rave of swearing, but in primordial. And a nod.
I feel like the tone carries through. Yes. So you need that returns.
Yes.
Do you have an image of this so that we may attempt to find it for you?
Quite literally waves his hand and, similar with the words, does a wispy smoked materialisation of a ram's horn. Is the closest thing you can.
I was
See.
kind of hoping for something a little bit more concrete, not gonna lie. But okay, cool. You clearly don't work with the old parchment. But that's fine. I'll ram's horn. Cool.
Just got images of Kess just in a field in Ravenholm, I'm like, that looks like a ram's horn. Nailing some poor goat eating grass. No.
Is it any particular? I do not mean for this to sound rude, but that just looks like a ram's horn. Is there any particular coloration or?
There are no features to this creature, but you get the feeling that he's just staring at you.
I have never seen this item before. He's just feeling so awkward. He's like, do you have... ah!
Can't help you.
I have shown you, and he gestures towards the manifested air image of a ram's horn.
I have shown.
Okay, I will do my best. If we can return this, are you able to help undo what he made you do?
If you return it, you will have my undying loyalty. We will attack Ulric's forces wherever they are. We will leave the realm of air and wind and come down on him like a hurricane.
Okay.
Note, while he holds the horn, we will do the same to you.
We will endeavour to get this back to you as soon as we can. How are we best to let you know we have it? How?
We are aware of its location at all times.
Can you tell me?
Yes. There are 2 warriors with Ulric at all times. They hold the horn.
Do they switch it between them? Do they each have part?
They switch every time we scry. It is on a different one of them, but never anybody knew.
The dark-haired ones with bangs.
Faces of wind and drinkers of blood.
Yes. I know of who you speak.
You were within 5 feet of it, my friend.
So creepy! Ah!
You love it.
No! 0 out of 10. We will aid you in helping to free the Yamar and preserve them for your people. We will be good allies for you.
not ally until the horn is retrieved. If Ulric orders us to attack, I will, as will my people.
And that is why we will fetch the horn as quickly as we can.
Your name, warrior?
I'm Caspian Summerbreeze.
They rise up again, and they do like a swirling twirl and then a bow, and then he rises up to his height again. I am Adanus, a Batar of the Cerulean.
You got all that, Mel?
Danus.
I got a Danus.
When you've
I
got
got
a
a
roll.
Danus.
That's all we got, a Danus. That's all we need, a Danus.
I heard anus and
Of
course
course
you
you
did.
did.
Of course you did, you filth.
Of the Atar?
Of the Atar?
Taldalor?
Taldor.
It's in the
Eldor.
Twitch chat. Adanus, a
Thank you.
Batar.
Hey, thank you.
Batar of
Oh,
Cerulean.
Batar.
Yeah.
Ah, Baton, I understand.
So when you lot slip out your character voices, I've got 300 NPCs, all Yorkshire. Colossus is just Yorkshire.
Yorkshire.
It's
Oh look, an air elemental in Greg's. So
Wasn't that Friday? Wasn't there Leeds? There was fantasy Leeds on Friday, I seem to remember rightly, with the Gregs.
We all see
definitely
them.
was. Definitely was. Yum, oh, I love Yum Yums. Yum Yums is my next NPC, I've decided.
Yum yums. Oh, stop, you make me hungry.
You wish to return home now.
to where we left from. The sooner I can return the horn to you. And we can rid ourselves of this scum which is Ulric.
It turns sideways, step, and gestures off the cloud.
Fuck it,
Skydive.
done dumber stuff.
Then-
Done dumber stuff! And he'll just march in the direction.
As you step from the
Do a
cloud,
flip!
swan dive. That's a 7 out of 10, and that's concrete beneath it. You step off the
Yeah,
cloud.
kickflip. Yeah.
And you do indeed start skyrocketing towards the ground. And that's where we'll take a break.
I
Before
love
the
it. I
spot.
was like, no, there's a door just over there.
No, you went the wrong way!
So,
Oh, well, he's dead.
it's half night. Well, we'll see what he gets on his constitution. Concrete, there we go.
It can't be worse than
from
me.
the elemental plane of air to the elemental plane
Oh,
of
no,
earth
short
really
for concrete.
fast.
Real fast.
As long as he's no goldfish, he's alright. So, thank you very much for tuning in. That's part one. We're going to have a quick 10-15 minute break where we go to the loo and grab a brew. Probably not in that order. But you stick around, we'll be back. Like I said, 10-15 minutes, and we'll carry on and we'll see if Caspian survives his trip.
Return to the material plane.
Face first. Through the material plane into the Fey Realm.
Just
and
falls through the Fey round and into the material plane for like the break and just laughs. It's like,
What's
Knowing
that?
his
What's
luck.
the joke? And we'll see how their attempted long rest goes. So, see you soon. Stick around. During the break, you'll see lots of a scrolling slideshow that is basically a nod to the people that have contributed to the channel, whether it via art, dice, love, etc., etc. So, we'll be back shortly. Bye-bye.
certain death.
No, I'm smarter than that.
Cool, we're back.
No, well,
Hi.
So, welcome back. Welcome
Statement holds
to
true.
the Heavyweight Gamer channel. We play lots of tabletop, mainly D&D, and we're doing D&D. There's a separate channel for how to make a decent curry. That is apparently getting set up as we speak in chat. So, yeah, welcome back. This is part 2. Just before, let me play my Syrinscape music. See if... well, that's not as musical as I wanted it. Oh, Jesus Christ. Hang on. There we go.
hang on.
Hang about. Stuff we're getting snapped and all sorts. Right, so we join our party in the Copper Forest, attempting a long rest. What could possibly go wrong? We've just left, or Kesvion has just attempted to leave the elemental plane of air by leaping off a cloud and going the only way left to him. Down.
That was what I was told to do.
Well, you weren't told so much as just pointed.
You were gestured.
What you don't know is Tanis is stood on that cloud going, "Oh, I didn't think he'd actually do it."
A test of loyalty.
During your long rest, who is taking the first watch?
Who has the most health? I
Wow.
guess.
Wow, Ulric.
Wow.
Just saying, I'm squished. I'm gone.
Are you squish? I feel like you
I'm
should...
not that squished, but I'm currently squished. I've got
Blood
14
hunters are pretty
HP.
squish after fights.
I'm
I
actually
would
alright.
like to sleep.
I didn't get it.
I
Fine,
was up and down like a
I will
pogo stick.
take the first watch.
I can take the first watch. I didn't actually get hurt in that fight.
You also need the most
I do
sleep
need the
though, 'cause
8
you're
hours,
a pansy
but, you know.
human.
In fact, bars
There is
Andrea, they all need.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
why I'm thinking if I take the first one, then it's
I will definitely take the first one because I can get it done and out the way and then have my sleep.
Cool. So are you
Yep.
going to take you're going to take a 2 hour stint? Andrea?
Sorry, what went on?
How long are you doing before you nudge people?
I will do 4 hours before I nudge, and
And then
then
do
I
your
will
4
have
hours.
4
Okay.
hours sleep. Yeah, I will do the longer shift.
Okay.
I'll do the last shift then, because then, or try and get the
Yep.
8 hours.
So during your initial 4 hours, can you give me a perception check, please?
Oh, here we go. I mean, what?
A perception
Okay.
check. That should be fine because I have perception out the fucking wazoo because I have wisdom out the wazoo.
I love how it'll be fine. 38, you see nothing. I'm just asking you.
It's fine. I got a 19.
Cool. The image of the creatures going towards the ivory wall changes as the evening time is upon you. And you, again, as you are used to now in the Fair Forest, it seems to adapt to how you are feeling. Or at least it appears that way. And it does go into the dead of night. You hear flute music from among the trees of sorrow. The tunage it is letting out, there's no words, it is just pipes playing, but you feel there is a song of sorrow being played. Give me a history check.
That I cannot do great
That's
because
pipe.
that's intelligence. But we got a 17, so maybe.
You recognise the song, or at least the reasoning behind it, and it is usually played when a creature of not importance but of high regard within the realms of druids passes on, and it's usually a creature of rebirth, but they still mourn its passing.
So, with that knowledge, I will respectfully bow my head and say a little prayer under my breath.
Cool. And the music will carry on throughout your watch. The changing image on the Christ, them pipes get loud. The changing image on the portal-esque scene before you matches your surroundings in the sense that it is a nighttime view now of this ivory wall. Upon the ivory wall, you see several lizard-esque creatures with long bat-like wings that point out either side, and they give me a what did you get your perception? 19?
19.
Yeah, you see that their skin is of ivory, or appears to be of ivory. There is a smooth elephant tusk ivory to their scaling, their skin, the way their wings pan out. That is all the colourings of ivory, and there are about 10, and they are stalking the tops of the walls. You see humanoid figures all along the wall, as if soldiers on watch, staring away from the wall, and what they're staring at you do not know. And these ivory draconic lizard-like creatures going along the wall. None of the humanoids react to them, and the creatures do not react to the humanoids. And that is a constant for your thing. Your 4 hours passes. The song finishes, or at least lessens, and a pleasant fall of rain begins. And your 4 hours passes. Who do you wake up?
Well, let's see. Ari said he would take the last watch.
Okay.
So I guess I will wake up tall and taller.
So you wake up Orion and Sapphire.
Mm-hmm.
Orion and Sapphire, as you wake, you can feel the pitter-patter of rain upon your face. It is a very light rain, gentle. It's not heavy and forcing you to the ground. And it is nighttime, dead of night. Stars are twinkling high above. Xandria's twinkling in front of you. And it's your turn to watch.
I just imagine Orion's just like cocooned in his hair as he's sat up. Like a little
Like a little papoose.
Like a little papoose.
I think during the watch, Orion's gonna take out his little cook set and put on a cup of tea.
Okay. Sapphire, you see Orion making a brew.
What are you making?
Just gonna make some tea. Do you want some?
Yes, please. They haven't had decent tea since I got to Ravenholm.
Well, I've got some fruit tea, got some mint, got some Earl Grey, whatever you fancy.
Oh, fruit would be good. They had all kinds of really interesting teas in the monastery. It was nice. And like he just sits down, lotus position, kind of sitting.
He'll brew you a cup and give you some.
So are you just doing 2 hours before you wake Ari up?
Yes, I think that's the plan.
Cool.
We'll bond for 2 hours.
Yeah. Wow, a statement. I ain't role playing this. We're bombed.
Yes.
I accept it, Sapphire. We are now BFFs. Let's go.
I mean, I'm here for role playing for real time and just going for solid 2 hours.
I mean, we're not role playing this 8-hour session of sleeping. What is this?
This isn't real.
You say this. So, can you both give me perception checks?
Sure.
I don't want to.
I got a 12.
Plus
12?
19.
19. So on your 12, Ulric, you see the vision before you, the portal-esque. It just looks exactly the same to you. It's a night time, but there's just creatures going through the forest towards an ivory wall with golden banners and eagles. What you notice, Sapphire, is exactly what Xandria saw, but the ivory lizard draconic creatures upon the wall are now decimating the soldiers on the wall. And it's not like there's blood flying, but they are striking out at the humanoid creatures, and the humanoid silhouette shapes upon the wall are just disappearing like lemmings, which is a brilliant game and they should remake.
Yes.
And there's just a decimation upon the wall.
Do you reckon this is live?
I don't know. This, like, if this is near where Ari grew up, this is problematic. Oh shit, we're about to wake Ari up.
Oh. I mean,
Not it.
fine. I'll wake them up with a cup of tea. Do you know if they like any?
Oh, that is a.
Flavor.
I honestly don't know. The only thing I've seen these people drink is alcohol.
I don't have any alcoholic tea.
Alcoholic
Go for-
tea. What a great idea.
Maybe we should start a company.
I moved from Viconia to Vey. That would be the perfect combination of my heritage.
So can I just point out that we've got a 6'6" lion tabaxi monk barbarian, a 25-foot demonic death machine.
Wait, who fast?
Getting taller.
Just every time we mention the height.
One of them was like, not it, and the other one's setting up a brewing company. I mean,
It doesn't get more.
D&D.
Yeah. You can do whatever you want to do. Your imagination is your limit. If you
Let
want to
me
set
make
up a
a
tea
tea.
company, you
Give
can
me
set up
a,
a tea company.
Company setting up roll.
Oh, I missed my
Charisma
dice
or
tray. That's how bad it went.
Wisdom.
Jeez.
I threw it at my leg.
Oh, wow.
Your bank
Excite.
before it sets up.
I will make Ari a nice fruit tea to maybe like one that's used in a cider often, possibly. Do you get pear tea? I actually know nothing about tea.
Oh my
Maybe pear tea.
It's alright, just bullshit it, you'll be fine.
Yeah, there's a pear tea and it tastes like cider. Sure.
Cool. So
It's a bit off.
do you wake Ari up?
Yeah, sure. When it's time, or we'll go over and just like shift.
It is time. You've had
Yeah,
your brew.
it is
You've
time.
bonded.
But it is time.
It's time.
Time to climb Pride Rock. No!
The king, he has returned.
Ari has returned to the wall. No!
The alarm
Yeah,
dragon
you'll
holds
give it a
you.
little shake and then just like put the tea next to him.
And stands blocking his view of the wall.
Just like don't look, don't do it. This is all his
Hold it
hair
behind me.
cat wings like.
And we kind of like looks at the tea, is like, thank you. That was very nice. And drinks it.
Please help yourself to more during your watch, and he'll point to the little tea stand she's got going on.
Thank you. Really nice of you. Yeah, I guess this is my turn. Does a big stretch and then like gets up and rolls himself out of his blankets and just like, okay, right, ready. Yeah. And
Cool.
sits
Sapphire.
down next to
Alright, you go to sleep.
Yes, please.
Cool.
Cocoon myself. Not even tell him.
Ari. Ari, as you look, you see Xandria in her meditative sleep. Ori and Sapphire sprawled out. You can only see the eyes and horns of Ori amongst this white mane. And you see Sapphire's white mane. But, yeah. So, the portal image before you, I need a perception check. I actually need 2 perception checks off you, Aaron.
Ew, okay.
One for portal,
well,
one for your area.
Weirdly, I'm quite happy I only rolled a 3 on that one, so it's a 6 for the first one.
Cool.
Oh, and then I rolled a 17, so it's a dirty 20.
So the first one, you do not see anything in the forest around you. The second one, you look at the portal, and it's changed. It's now night time. You keep looking. There's no movement through the forests, no fake creatures. You look at the wall. You can see these lizard-like, ivory-scaled, draconic-esque creatures running along the wall. Peaceful at first, nothing happening. Loads of humanoids that you can assume are just House of the Eagle soldiers. Then it changes. Then the draconic creatures start attacking the humanoid creatures, and it's just one strike gone. There's no graphical anything. It's just they're darting in. You can see jaws snapping, and the humanoid creatures evaporating as if mist. All along the wall. You hear very, very, very distant sounds of cries for help. The death roars of people as they're getting killed, but it doesn't match the scene. You just hear them far, far away. And then there is a moment where you recognise one of the humanoid creatures stood high on the wall, and you see the current first eagle, Elva. She is stood there, all down her right side. There is scarring down her face as if multiple clawing has gone down, and the scars are fresh, like they've been healed naturally rather than with magical means. Across her side of her head there's no hair, and then you can just see tufts, rough tufts falling down the left-hand side. She stands there in the armour of Hagen Rycroft, your grandfather, with the bronze and brass colouring and the gold eagle upon it. And she paints quite a picture, stood high upon this wall, looking down. So you've got the wall itself, and then a raised like rampart bit behind it. And she's looking down at it. She's got your grandfather's longsword in her hand and shield in her other hand, in his plate armour, now her plate armour, as Elva, the first eagle of the ivory wall, is shouting something. You, from the looks of it, she's shouting orders, but there's no audible to it. And as the creatures, the ivory draconic creatures upon the wall, decimate the humanoid silhouettes, they all bunch beneath her on the wall while she's stood above them, and she leaps from the rampart to them, and the entire vision just fades away into mist. You don't see her land.
I feel like he's not noticed anything around the forest, because as soon as he's seen, he's noticed very little around the forest, because as soon as he's seen this, he's just riveted on this, and it's just staring, and like just tears running down his cheeks, just like kind of, why can't I be there? And he's like trying to like look more closely and see like if there's anything else, and it's just on his own in bits in the middle of the Fey Forest. Yay!
Snaps for the Fey Files!
So,
happy boy.
As you are staring, tears rolling down your face. As the image fades and you sort of reach out to it, you notice something ahead of you, like there's a change in the tree line before you, and you see something coming towards you. It is a hound of some sort, with the face of a very aged human, coming towards you, covered in fur, red eyes. The teeth are showing, but they're all broken, beyond acknowledgement of whether they were sharp or humanesque, the same as the face. Big bushy eyebrows, and they are running at you. Buff, 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 buff. Clearly they're not an imagination. There is a creature in front of you. Give me an Arcana check.
15.
15. This is what Harry knows from the look of it and the stories of the Fae, because obviously the Ravenhorn tells them all the time to warn you away. It is something Harry knows as a Yeth Hound. They are creatures that move between the Fae realm and the ethereal realm, ethereal plane, sorry, and they are visible on the material plane, but borderline in the ethereal, and they move between the Fae realms. They are well known for biting you to death, and they have a baleful baying. So when they bay, when the hound bays, it is a magical effect that, according to the stories, will hurt you a lot, whether it be scare you, damage you, incapacitate you. Listening to its bay is bad, and it is about 40 feet from you, and it's coming towards you. Can you all roll initiative?
I was going to say his first action will be to shout to wake everybody up.
Including you, Kess.
Hey, I get to come clean.
Oh, 4. Oh, damn it.
Noise.
So, let's get some battle music.
Let's load up my new monk thing so I can try out some of these fun things.
Song, Kessa's theme tune just now is I'm soaring.
All I heard was, I believe I can fly.
So
I only know High School
interest, did we
Musical.
at least get a short rest, AD?
You have successfully all had a short rest.
Oh, thank God. Do we need to roll for it? Or
Oh, so we can roll some hit dice
Roll
before
your
we
hit
start?
dice, yeah.
Okay, cool. How many
fuck.
do we just get to roll as many as we need?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Up to your level.
D10.
Or
Oh,
half
sorry,
your
I'm
level or
rolling.
something like that.
I'm rolling on roll 20.
You roll what you want.
Roll what you want.
Oh, are we on roll
Sure,
20? Is there a
yeah,
map?
okay.
There is no map.
Okay, cool.
Which one's the D10 again? It's been so
It's the one
long.
that looks like a spinning top.
That's all of them.
I got it.
That's all of them. Brilliant.
Ooh, 10. Nice.
Well, one of mine is a D12, so I think that's going to be one of the ones I roll. What's the other one? D8. Sorry.
Yes, another 10.
It's an 8.
Nice.
Another 8, so that's 16.
The Lord
6.
likes me today.
I don't need to roll any hit dice, but don't get any spells back.
7. Okay, I'm back to full.
So, Sapphire, what
Do
did you
want-
get?
Of my initiative, 8.
Right. Orion?
18.
18. Ari?
16.
16. Kess?
22.
22?
Yeah.
Jesus.
I did 19 plus 3.
Oh, Lord, he
Zandria?
coming.
21.
Toodles? I'll write that in.
Oodles.
If Toodles answers me, I'll shit myself. So, Kess, as you are plummeting from the cloud, you leap, and at first your arms are out and stuff like this, and you're like, I am actually falling through the air. And you see the ground rushing towards you. For some unknown reason, you lean into it and put your arms at your side and put your feet together and head first pencil dive straight towards the earth. Or Colossus, you know what I mean. And you start flying towards it. You see the bird's eye view of the geographical landmass that is Colossus, and you focus on where you believe Ravenholm is, and you're pretty accurate. You go darting towards it. There is a moment where you realise that the Fae Realm is in a different realm to what appears to where you are heading towards. As you breach the canopy of the forest
With
at
my face, apparently.
terminal velocity, you give me a Constitution
Nice.
saving throw.
Remember, we have a reroll.
You do.
Oh, it's fine. That is 21.
Boom.
Hey.
And as in a manner that would make Iron Man jealous,
Hero.
Kess
Hero
hero
landing,
lands, fist down, leg out, right next to Harry. That's your movement, by the way.
I figured.
3 million feet is quite the.
Sapphire is now jealous of how much you moved in the round.
Sky to ground. So you have an action and a bonus action. As you land, you are in the Copper Forest. You get the same feeling of, you're a little bit confused at first whether you are in the Copper Forest or stepping out into the material realm because of the grove that you are currently in with your companions. Ari is right
It don't
next
feel
to you.
right.
Zandria, Sapphire and Ori are asleep. Or they seem to be asleep. Or meditative state. And coming towards you is quite a large... You definitely know this is a Yeth Hound. There are variations of them all over the world. This one has heavy fur, human face, red eyes, broken teeth. And it is 40 feet from you, bounding towards you and Harry.
I can only attack with my offhand if I've attacked first with my dominant, can't I?
Correct.
Bottom.
And you can't move, so if you hold an action, that's all you'll get to do is to swing a weapon. You wouldn't be able to get to do your full turn.
That's basically all I can do if I've got no movement. So I will hold an action, and if it comes within stabbing range, I'm gonna do that.
Cool. Zandria, give me a perception check.
Dirty 20.
Cool. You sort of snap out of your meditative state, and look around. You see the Yeth Hound rushing towards Ari and your brother Kesvion.
Fantastic.
From you, it's about 50 feet.
It's about 50 feet.
Yeah, because Ari would have been a little bit away from you, or sat right next to you, staring at you while they're sleeping.
Cool. From my direction then, I am going to. Fuck it. I'm gonna cast Firebolt on it.
Okay, roll an attack.
Uh, 17.
17 hits.
That would be 16 points of fire damage.
Your bolt of fiery goodness launches from your fingertips past Ari and Kesvion into the Yeth Hound. Its fur is scorched.
As it should be.
Wood.
And as my bonus action, I am going to summon a Shadow Blade.
Cool. Are you getting up or are you staying laid on the floor?
I'm getting up whilst I'm doing it, yeah.
Cool. Are you using your movement to move up to them too?
Yes.
Cool. So you're now stood with them. Good. Orion.
Mm-hmm.
Kes, your sister's next to you. Hi, sis. Ori, what are you doing?
Am I awake?
Perception check, please. Sorry.
Okay. 7.
With advantage because Xandria's just fired
Okay,
off a firebolt.
cool. Keep yeeting off my thing. Oh, 17 now.
Yeah, you react to the little bead of fiery goodness. You open your eyes, you follow the direction of the firebolt, and you see the Yeth Hound coming towards. You have no
Okay.
idea what a Yeth Hound is.
No,
Unless
okay.
you wish to attempt.
Is it a free action to attempt to know, or is it an action?
I will say coming out of your sleep, you'll probably have to concentrate rather than see it all the time. So it'll be a bonus action to
Dog has a people face.
work out
Yeah.
what it is.
Okay. If I'm using my bonus action for this, can I use my bonus action as an action?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So bonus action. It's not a fae, fiend, or undead, is it?
It is a fate.
Okay, I'll get advantage on it then. Up. 19 plus 3, I think.
Oh, right, nice. Let me just send you the stats.
Oh, okay, cool. Fine.
Right, so you know that this creature is immune to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing weaponry
Okay.
from non-magical
I'll just
attacks.
sit back
So
down then.
if you have mundane weaponry that is not silvered, it is immune to the damage.
Oh,
It also cannot, but if you've got a magical weapon, it'll work as normal. But if it's not magical, it has to be silver. It's also immune to being charmed, being exhausted, and being frightened.
Uh-oh. I don't have any magic weapons.
If sunlight hits it, it is banished to the ethereal plane. It's currently nighttime.
Sunlight.
You might want to make somebody burn.
There's a what's it called? What's the opposite of necromantic?
Radiant?
Radiant. Does a radiant light do that as well, or is it only
Radiant is not daylight.
Okay.
Radiant is
I
holy.
will.
It's a
But
holy
it's
light.
also not slashing or bludgeoning. So
But
Sorry, I
if
just need to know
you,
if my
whatever damage you put on your weapon would make it a magical weapon.
Okay, cool. That means I can get one of them. So I'll get on up. Use my action for when I pull out my blades. I will do Rite of the Flame. So yeah, Orion's hair puffs up like in a Shiro Ghibli film, and his ghostial arm flickers in as he pulls out his 2 swords. And as he pulls them out, he cuts his arm, and flames burst from the sword.
Is it just the one sword that you can put it on?
One at a time.
Okay. All right.
But I
Fair.
have to
Fair.
do did the damage. So did 1 damage. That's nice.
Yep. Roll more.
There's a little paper cut, and then I'll use my 15 foot of movement to move a little bit closer to everyone else.
Okay. That's Ori. Ari!
How far away is he? Like 40 feet?
40 feet from you right now. And you've got Ori, Xandria, and Kess stood next to you. You've no idea about its immunities or anything.
No, I know. I'm trying to think. Because he'd automatically go for his rapier, but then if it's too far away, he'd probably try and pull his crossbow as, like, I'm going to guess as a bonus action because he won't have it out. Or
You were
You're
on-
also
you
the
were on-
only person with magical weapons, you prick.
You are...
He doesn't know that!
Ari.
Not metagaming, remember?
Ari, I will say that
I
you
know,
were
but
I'll
still.
say that you were your crossbow, or when you were on guard, because you were obviously on watch, was nearby, or at least
Okay.
ready to use,
Cool, okay.
rather than bonus actiony stuff.
Okay, cool. Because I was like, he'd normally go for his rapier, but kind of seeing it's too far away. Or would he?
I've never seen you shoot a thing.
You've
No.
never shot a thing in your life.
No.
It's actually when you said crossbow, I was like, I forgot Ari had a crossbow.
Yeah, no, he would just he'd just pull his rapier
As well
and
as
his
you
dagger
excel
and
in a
stand
one-on-one.
ready.
Ari
Yeah,
excels at one-on-one.
he'd hold an
so
action.
You wanna get in before they do.
Yeah.
Normally. So you were ready in an action. So you're,
Ready in action.
If it comes
Ready
in
in
range, stab
action
it, yeah?
when it comes within range, but also he would. Yeah, bonus action. Bardic inspiration for Caspian.
Wouldn't bardic inspiration me? I can't do jack. Okay, cool. Thanks.
Doesn't
So-
know that.
You nudge Cass, welcome back, you feel inspired. And you ready your rapier, yeah?
Yes.
Toodles
And Toodles.
is
Come on,
out
Toodles,
cold
you need-
on a 5.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, get into it.
We both.
Oh shit! I forgot we have to wake up first. Oh no.
It's a low DC, don't worry about it. Just Toodles is an absolute. I can't believe it, but it's not Sapphire, it's the Hound's turn. Who got a 9 on initiative, and you were like 8. I was like, how did the bloody monk to Baxter get an 8? So, the Hound will rush forward. I'm pretty sure it's 40 feet, but I'm going to double check so I don't cheat. It is indeed 40 feet.
There you go then.
Spicy boy.
As it leaps, its actual feet, paws are not on the ground, but it remains a few inches off the ground. So it's not flying, it's got quite a quick hover on it though, and it sort of runs on the air towards you. And it will go straight into Ari, the human in its realm. Right, Ari.
Does that comet within
As it is
stabbing range?
As it is running towards you, so that it does this before it gets to you all,
Okay.
it will bay loudly, and it will ow to the stars. Every enemy, which is you lot, within 300 feet, will hear this. So can you all give me a wisdom saving throw, please?
Oh,
I'm fine.
boy.
Does this wake Sapphire up?
This will wake everybody.
We
up,
upset
so yes.
you, AD. Did we do something that you didn't like?
What are we doing? Wisdom save.
You said you weren't
Yeah.
role playing your watches, so this is punishment. That best be an nat
That's
20,
20.
Luke. I'm gonna say, don't be celebrating them that ones. Right, so Cass, what did you get? What did you get, Cass?
That was a nat 20.
Cool. Sapphire.
I got a 16.
Cool. Ari.
14.
Ooh, Ori.
6.
Oh God.
I don't do well on my
You
saves.
need some new dice. Sorry. Sandra.
Might I suggest Bardic
Do you
Inspiration?
get a reroll?
We do have a reroll, but
I'd rather
23.
take the reroll.
23, cool. So everyone,
I'll
but,
take it.
everyone but Ori. So decide now if you want the reroll.
Oh, I
Take
don't.
it.
I took them last session.
Take it.
Take
This,
it.
this sounds
Oh,
important.
fine. Okay, fine.
That baleful thing sounds.
Okay, I got
shit.
17. I got 17.
17.
Ah, sorry.
Ding, da, da, ding, da, ding. There we go.
Ding, ding.
There we go. Hey, oh, go back here. There you go, you little bastard. So as its howl, as its bay goes to the stars, you all, for a heartbeat, a flicker, a blink of an eye, feel fear grip you. But does it really know who it's trying to scare? And none of you are frightened.
I peed only a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a smidge.
I mean, Ori, there was a moment. But yes, you are not frightened. Then it gets to Ari, and you get your attacks. So, Ari, if you go first.
Thank God, I thought you were saying it was attacking again.
Right, it's going to bite Ari.
15 to hit.
15 hits.
Awesome. I wouldn't get sneak, would I? Because obviously he knows I'm bloody there and stuff. I'm like,
your sneak attack is if you have advantage, if you are fighting it one-on-one, or if you have an ally within 5 feet of it. And seeing as you are all stood right in front of it, you have an ally within 5 feet of it.
awesome!
Attack.
Oh, I rolled an 8 on my D8 as well.
Yeah, sneak attack's a lot better in 5th, a lot like easier to obtain in 5th edition.
Yeah.
14 points of damage.
14.
Oh wait, 14, hang on, plus 18 points of damage.
18 points of damage. Woo.
Was that the
Your-
noise
your
of
ra-
it being hurt?
It is definitely hurt as Ari's rapier sinks through its fur into its flanks up to the hilt, and then Ari pulls it back out. So, Kess, will you do yours?
Hi.
You sound so defeated already.
I was gonna do Jack, so
Okay.
It's the thought that counts, the effort that was made.
that would have been 23 to hit.
So your blade hits and bounces off like you've just hit a wall.
Yep.
A+ for effort, little brother. A+ for effort.
I mean, it was a hell of a strike, just, you know.
Yeah, I probably rattled myself more than I bothered it.
It will then attempt to bite Ari and miss. Unless your AC is 11.
No, it's not.
Cool.
Do I not get an attack of opportunity if I'm next to them?
You firebolted, stood up, and summoned a shadow bird. You don't get. They're not doing an attack of opportunity. They're doing their readied actions.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
I thought, right.
No. This is It's not there. Yeah.
That's fine.
Right. So that's its turn. Sapphire, you are awake, and 10 feet from it. There is no movement that you have to worry about getting into the
I was going
fight.
to say 10 feet's pretty. Yeah, I was going to say, I think I can handle that even
Stretch
with
out.
getting up.
Just a bit.
Okay, yeah, so I'm going to get up, get over to it, and problem with Barbarian and Monk is that lots of bonus actions. I'm going to Rage, I think, and then I'm going to hit it,
Cool.
and then I'm going to punch it.
Are your strikes magical yet? Or-
My Naginata is magical. Oh, my
You said
unarmed
punch it,
strikes.
you
Yeah.
said punch it.
Oh. Yeah,
are you magical in a couple of levels, or are you already magical?
I think it's a couple of levels.
Yeah, I don't think I'm there yet with the magic punches. No,
So-
I'm not there with the magic
so,
punches.
yeah.
So it's magic weapon, but not a magic punch.
Yeah. So you said
He doesn't know that though.
Cool. So when you said you're punching it, are you punching it?
Oh no, he's going to hit it with his Naginata first,
Alright,
and
cool,
then he's
cool.
going to punch it.
Cool. So hit with your Naginata first.
16.
16 hits.
Yay. Okay, so it's 8 points of slashing damage.
8?
Magical slashing damage. Yeah.
Cool. Your Naginata does the opposite to Kesvion's scimitar and cleaves into its flanks. It looks in a seriously bad state.
And then he tries to punch it, but I know that's not going to do any damage. But he's going to. I guess it'll be like punching a brick wall.
Which you trained on, so you're fine.
Son of a. Punching it doesn't work. Punching it doesn't work. And that'll be my turn.
Cool.
Oh yeah, and he's gone all super calm. Super calm. Weird. Yeah.
Oh, with his rage, I forgot that was a thing.
He's like weird anti-rage. He's like. Yeah.
Cool. So you notice Sapphire join the foray. Naginata cleaves into the hound. The punches, you feel like you hear them hit something solid. Right, so that's end of the round. Yes! Now it's your actual turn. You've seen Ari and Sapphire both sink their weapons into this creature, but yours bounce off it. Yeah, guess.
Just gonna hit it again a bunch of times and do nothing. That's 17 to do nothing.
Cool. Your 17 does indeed do nothing.
It's 25 to do nothing.
So you're just beating on it with your blades, and these are fine strikes. You know what you're doing with these scimitars.
I'm just like, how is this? And this is how he gained a level in Barbarian. Just lost it.
Ari's just stabbing this thing like, what the fuck?
I was like, what the hell?
Oh my god, this is
So,
23.
cool, so you're laying waste to this creature, but to no
It's
effect.
just like,
I mean, and the creature looks on its last legs, and you are a little bit frustrated. So, is that your turn, Kes?
Look at that face.
Zandria, you are in melee with this creature, and you have a shadow blade in your hand.
Cool. I'm going to attack it.
Cool.
Would this be classed as dim light since it's dark?
Nope.
Nope. Fair enough. What are you? I can't see.
The Fair Realm does not adhere to the light sources.
That is true. So, just double checking. Yeah. So that would be 16.
16 hits.
Sound of many dice. Oh boy, I'm glad I am not this thing. 8, 7, and a 5. Whatever that is. 8,
Cool.
7, 5.
The 8 did it, so don't worry about the rest.
Oh,
You
I was going to say it's psychic damage.
You strike the creature with the shadow blade. Ari and Kess, you have a flashback of Dalefin, and the blade cleaves through the Yethhound, which you see the outline of it as the material side of it just poof, evaporates. The last thing you see is like a flash burn of its outline before it dies in the ethereal plane. You are no longer in combat.
Oh, wow.
But Kess is back.
I'm just staring at this thing like, what the fuck?
So the minute that the thing sort of disappears in a puff of death, and Kess is staring at the place it was, just like, what the fuck, I am gonna go up to Kess, and I'm gonna punch him.
You couldn't say you were gonna hug him. Nope.
No, I knew I was getting punched. I was like, I'm not getting a hug. He's gonna like look up from like where the whatever that was, and just kind of like look at her like, what?
You're an absolute idiot. You do know that. Why the fuck did you run off without anyone else to back you up and run straight headfirst into the danger? Did you not stop to consider what could happen?
Why did you come back shit at fighting?
Like the slow like head tilt.
Like,
You're
Not
normally so
relevant.
good.
he was hitting it though.
Yeah,
That's
he was.
not relevant.
Sorry. Brother sister moment. Interrupted. Apologies.
What if you couldn't make your way back? What if you were stuck there? We had no way of getting you back.
We knew what we could get involved in when we took up this mission.
You're right, we did, but we also agreed that we would stick together.
And it was the heat of battle. I assumed that there would be people behind me. I did
Should have
not
waited.
To be fair, I was behind you, but then I had to go and sort these guys out?
It doesn't matter. I found out something that could turn the tide of this if we can get their aid.
Well, at least you came back with some glimmer of hope from your little jaunt in the plane of air, which is, I'm assuming, where you were, given your vague description.
He's just gonna look quite hurt, like little bit like kicked dog, like just had a bear skate in. And we'll almost like turn to like the rest of the party, seeing as she's been a bit shirty. Yes, I received your message not long after I arrived, so I was not sure of exactly where I was yet or how I was going to be able to return. But it would appear that Ulric has been holding an item very dear and very sacred to the people of the airplane hostage, and that is how he's been able to blackmail them into helping. Adonis said that if we can get this item back for them, then they would aid us. But until then, they have to work to protect their own people.
What was this item?
It's some sort of form of ram horn from an animal that's sacred to their plane. Apparently, one of Ulric's companions, the two sort of vampiric women that are always with him, they are in charge of caring for it. Apparently they switch it between themselves, so it's harder for them to scry and find.
Well, at least we know where this item potentially is. We can keep an eye out for it, and if we see an opportunity to remove it from their beings, then we'll do so.
While they still hold that, though, they have the power of the plane of air.
Well,
And they will...
That's not good, says Toodles.
Oh, you're awake now.
I woke up when that the Yethhound started shouting.
You alright?
I was scared.
I was scared.
On a night.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm okay. The Yethhounds are not creatures to be trifled with. I don't know why it attacked.
It just came out of the forest. There was the image changed before it came out of the forest though.
Do they not usually attack Yethhounds?
No, they're quite well, intelligent enough to not care. Like they're not. They don't hunt. They're not predatory. They just. If you're nearby, they'll probably have a go. But they're usually with a master of sorts. They're not aggressive unless told to be. But I don't see anyone else around here.
These times are strange, and things are happening that are not normal. That really can't be explained. We should be more careful.
Maybe we should go investigate where this thing came from, in case it does have a master. Or it was running from something.
That's not a bad idea. It was Fae related, right? I mean, I'm assuming everything that's coming through at the moment is Fae.
Yeah, hounds are. They're definitely fair. Yes.
Damn it. Well, I can't track it. I track fiends. But we can head that way.
I can track Fae.
Well, even better. Okay, I think
Well,
that's
maybe
a
I
good plan.
can. That's sometimes not guaranteed.
Yeah, theoretically.
Supposedly, I should.
That was brilliant. I could track Faye. Hang on.
Sometimes.
Do not count on me.
Are you planning on tracking the Fae?
Is
The
everyone-
Yeth Hound, or
Is everyone okay with that? Everyone up for that?
It would be best for us to check just to be on the safe side.
All right.
Really do need to start playing it more careful now that the cogs are in motion.
Let me just lean down, look at the ground here.
How long are we staying in this forest? Because I don't like it.
We stay until the war is won.
Ori? What did you get?
I got 14.
Oh, well, that's better than the rest of
That's
them have
all
been.
right. You know what it is. You are aware of what the creature was. You rolled high enough to understand what it is. While you are looking for tracks, you see the point of it then leaving the ground itself and then coming up to run on air. Then there is a spark in your memory that the master of a Yeth Hound is telepathically bound to the creature at any distance as long as they are on the same plane.
Right.
So it could be close by or 1,000 miles away if they're on the same plane. If they're on different planes, the bond is cut.
Okay, we have a problem here. And he'll tell everyone that information. So it could be miles away, it could be right nearby, but who knows? Tracking it might not help. But it could have been sent from someone who knew who we were or what we were doing.
Quite likely it seemed to charge as soon as it saw me.
And you are a human in the fair wilds.
Toodles nods. Many of our natives, they're not fond of humans. I like you though, Harry. I think you're okay.
Thanks, Doodle.
Seeing that Harry's a little bit down.
I think you're okay.
Makeup running, you know what I mean?
Yeah, just a little bit.
If we cannot trace where the master is, then we do the next best thing. Stay alert. At all times. The copper forest was already dangerous to begin with, now even more so. I fear with the tear, the war, and other things working in the background, it's going to be even tougher for us to survive in here. And I mean that for all of us.
I think we need to go and help Colleen and help with the breach because it's getting worse.
I agree. Toodles, if you can you return us to where we were before? Perhaps we can find out where the Jesuit and Colleen are.
You want to go back
And
to
as
the
I-
cabin?
Yes, and as I say Colleen, there's a brief look in my eye.
Okay. Toodles is going to insight check you. Toodles is going to ignore that look in the eye.
Oh, Toodles.
Oh, Toodles.
Toodles tries to insight check you and stares at the tree just to your left.
Yeah, that's about right.
Okay. Follow me. And Toodles will begin to lead you back to the Jesuit's hut. The journey feels longer than it did on your way here. There are moments where there is absolute silence in the forest, no wildlife whatsoever. You are still very, very aware that you are in the Fae realm. Xandria Kess, this is second nature to yourselves. The quietness is surreal. You've never experienced such a silence. It's almost magical silence without it being magical. Even your footsteps on the ground are hardly audible. As you get to the hut, you are all aware that you have not had a long rest. You managed to get your short rest, and you now all have a level of exhaustion as you reach the Jesuit's cabin in the woods.
Dang it.
Love that.
Which will really help Ori's dice rolls.
Don't come at me, bro.
There is 2 rows of flower beds outside the hut that weren't there before. A multitude of colours of the flowerings. And Toodles opens the door to the cabin. Are we staying here? You all look really tired.
It might be best. This, I believe, is one of the safer places right now.
Okay, well, and Toodles pops her head inside. Nobody's here, so the fire's going though, we can rest. And we'll be safe in the hut. There'll be no Yeth hounds coming through. And you all enter the Jesuit's cabin in the woods. Within there, again, you get these smells of autumn spice, honeyed mead, a beautiful roaring fire. Despite the size of the cabin from the outside, it is more than able to accommodate the larger folk among you. Alright. And you sit comfortably on thick woolen beanbags or rocking chairs or whatever you deem to get comfortable on to rest seems to be there. It doesn't appear, it's just as you look, it's there. Xandria, your Autumn's Fall scarf is reflexively comforting you. Whether you want it to or not, it's trying to comfort you and snuggle into you regardless of your desire for it to do so. And the cabin is extremely welcoming and warming. You won't have to stay here for the full however long you folk take to rest up. I know, looks across to Xandria. I know you rest quicker, but the rest of you, you can recuperate just as quickly as the elven folk and the fair folk whilst you're in the cabin. There's no need to stay here for hours and hours. I'm going to go to sleep as I really need my magics back to help if we are to go further into the forest looking for Kalain or the Jesuit. And you see Toodles just walk towards the corner, and again, you don't see it appear, but she manages to find herself quite a large, for her 7-foot frame, bed frame, cot type thing that she lays down on. Help yourselves to food and drink. It doesn't run out. Yeah, and she's out. The rest of you are left to yourselves and getting your head down if you so wish.
Sapphire turns to Xandria. If we eat this food, are we stuck here?
Sorry, I was too busy singing.
He's just going to roll his eyes at that.
No, if you eat the food, you'll be fine. It's not that kind of trickery.
Okay.
Give me a wisdom save.
What did Kalain give you?
Kalain gave us a lock of his hair.
Kess is just looking at you like, what?
That's what I thought as well. Why would someone give you their hair? He said it was magic.
Like I said, we used to give them as betrothal
Possibly.
things. So this is not that, but they have it has meaning. You're giving a piece of yourself. It's quite a big deal.
This lock of his hair houses some of his power, and it can be used to grant us his strength, which we will definitely need now more than ever. I don't think Kalain can help us any further.
How so? Did something happened?
Oh yeah, you weren't there. He came to us, and when he dropped his sort of glamorous appearance, he was all covered in blood.
I mean, it's not the first time that we've seen him after a battle. He's
I heard a song that I am aware is only reserved for certain passings whilst I was on my watch, whilst we were waiting for you to return, Kess. I fear that Cullen has passed, and that is why he granted us the gift of his strength, because he will not be able to aid us any further. I could be wrong, but from my knowledge of that song, it fits with everything he did before I heard that song.
If that is the case, then that's a sore blow for Forest and for us, and makes me fear what else is happening.
I pray that you're wrong in this instance, sister.
I do pray that I'm wrong, but things are lining up to suggest otherwise. And not only that, but before we departed from the Oaken Whale, I spoke with Malika, and she did mention that if Colin's time was coming, then it would come, and there was nothing we could do to stop that. And the same goes for the Jesuit. If it is her time for her to no longer be the protector of this forest, then her leaves will fall. And the cycle will begin again.
Death comes to us all, but I hope it's not their time yet.
We should get some rest. We need to make sure that we're in fighting form if we're going to try and save the Copper Forest.
If we have lost Colleen, then I think we really need to prioritize getting the airplane on our side. We can't afford to be fighting another front.
Yeah, we need to go to Ulric. We need to take this to Ulric and his companions. Jesuit said about the dagger as well that he carries. We need to take this to them, and we need to be in full fighting form to do so.
Well, I think I'm going to make some tea. That really goes with grim conversations, I think. I'll get up and go get some tea and some biscuits
He actually sounds like a wonderful idea.
for everybody.
Kess will come help.
Once you've had your brews, are you all going to sleep?
Oh yeah, like Kess is. I don't care if you're actually the tabaxi, he is in front of the fire as close as he can get without singeing himself. Just like.
You've got a lot of hit points, you can take a few burns, it's fine. So,
Sapphire takes some time to kind of do some meditation and focus on things back at the monastery, and he's not trying to actually get in contact or anything, just trying to...
during your meditation, Sapphire, you have never felt so serene. There's no turmoil of fiendish hunting, echo location, constantly trying to find things that are always at the tip of your reach. You feel relaxed, chilled. It's probably one of the best meditations you've had in a long time since leaving home, or your original home. The tea, all the facilities are there for Orion to make an incredible brew. And you all drink well. The biscuits are oaty. If you're allergic to oats, tough. You're in a magic place.
Knobs.
No.
Knobs.
Obnobs. Magic obnobs.
Don't slap me. So yes, and you all enjoy a brew and biscuits. Jeez, I love D&D. And you all,
Biscuits.
you all get your heads down to take your long rest. That will take you. Go on.
I was going to say, just as a side note, Xandria will wait until everyone else has gone to sleep, and as soon as everyone else has gone to sleep, she will get up and she will go and cuddle with Cass.
She kicks him in the head.
She's just gonna like very slyly, very stealthily, just big spoon her older, her taller brother.
Okay.
Jetpack.
Who has the lock of hair? Was it Sapphire?
It's Sapphire. Sapphire has it, yeah.
Oh, it's not
Yeah.
there. Okay.
During your resting, Sapphire, you dream of a very large bear, brown fur. Irony or what? You dream of a very large brown bear reaching. You've got the t-shirt on its hind legs, reaching up at a tree at something amongst the leaves, looking very happy with its little self. You have a look, and you're like, oh, "It's a bear." Now you come from Vicornia, where the bears are feckin' enormous. This thing could probably take on one of the larger bears from Vicornia. And it is just happily pawing at something in the leaf tops. What relevance, you don't know. You may have dreamt about bears before, I don't know. But this particular one, that's a big bear. Ari, you have had a bit of a rough couple of weeks. There has been loss, friends from the past, them moving on, visions, civil war. Yes, everyone else is here with you and they're obviously trying to help, but there's a personal edge to it. Maybe more so. Obviously, Xandria and Kess are fighting for the Fae, but your home has been torn asunder and you've known it peaceful for your entire existence and throughout the histories. There has never been internal conflict, on this scale at least, politically always, but never come to blows within Ravenholm. You grew up on stories of the great empire of Ravenholm when Reinhardt had almost 3/4 of the planet. It was, there is a grand history to the humans of Ravenholm and their magical abilities. This is just so alien to Harry that sat here, before you walk through the door of this cabin, your tear ducts probably dried out by the time you got to the cabin, but you still feel the emotion. Within the cabin, there is a relief. There is a moment of serenity, tranquility that is just, you are still aware, just because you're an intelligent creature. You are aware of these things still happening, but right now, you just feel the embrace of the cabin and the sweet spice honey smells of autumn in this cabin, and you feel relaxed. You listen to them, you watch them meditate, you start to drift away. The cup of tea and the biscuit was beautiful. And as you fall asleep within your dreams, you are taken to a place on the northern coast that is situated in the House of the Red Lady and the House of the Lilies on that northern coast. It's a place you've probably passed once or twice before, or at least visited similar places. It's a vineyard. It's a very large vineyard. There are several people working the rows and rows of grapes. Excuse me. And you see on a porch, surrounded by a fair amount of folk that are very attracted to the tabaxi performing on a small stage outside a large manor house. This tabaxi is wearing the most beautiful silken shirt of a shiny black colour, fitted trousers, a gorgeous looking rapier on one side, a dagger on the other. Their fur is smoke grey, smooth like Armani, and the green eyes you swear an elf could see from 3 days away. This tabaxi is just radiating an inner beauty that there's about a dozen people around this tabaxi. and he is working them in a very similar style to what you do. You can't hear anything. You just know by the body language, the movements and everything that this grey-furred tabaxi, green-eyed, smooth-talking mother kipper is definitely looking for a companion or two for the evening amongst this 12. You approach, kind of involuntary. You're just on a nice walk through the vineyard, and you get closer and closer. You still can't hear what this tabaxi is saying, what they sound like, but they lock eyes with you. Your piercing gaze, the tabaxi's bright, dark, like gemstone green eyes look back at you, and there is a smile of recognition and a nod. And we will leave the session there.
Yay.
So, that was up and down.
Tad.
Boy!
Ooh.
Made me cry again, AD. Jeez.
It's not
A
hard.
Tuesday unless AD's made Mel cry.
Yeah.
Apparently it's not D&D.
literally reading my notes, and I'm like, she's gonna stab me one day.
Yeah.
I know exactly who that is. Yay!
We are in Harry's stomping ground, so right. So, thank you very much for tuning in. The NACA 2010, yes, there are websites to find local groups. You can go to Roll20, where they have lots of them, or you can go on Facebook and look at D&D groups. There are always people looking for people to play, run, etc. So go check them out. Thank you very much for tuning in. We've had 20 plus the entire session. Even at break, I think we had 20, so that's great. Tell all your friends, get more and more coming in. This community, when we started in March, there was like 3 of us, and there's 5 of us playing, so how that works, I don't know. So,
Because it was all us watching.
yeah, 2 of us not. So thank you very much. We're looking forward to see where it goes. 2020 has been shit. And hopefully we can take it into 2021 and build. My camera's gone all fuzzy. I'm going to sort that
It
out
has.
right now. as
You
I
are a
say goodbye.
fuzzy.
I am fuzzy. And I'm back. Yay, not fuzzy.
Hey.
So, again, thank you for tuning in. Great to see you all. And we're going to get off because it's 11 o'clock. Join us next Tuesday to carry on with this campaign, which will be session 22. We're closing in on the 26th, which is the 6-month mark that you lot will have been rocking out. So yeah, tune in for that. We've got next will be Carbon 2185 on Thursday. So go check us out there. That is 5e again, but it's Cyberpunk. So if you're into that, come and join us on Thursday. Thank you to our sponsors, Ruffworx Creative and Ashana, who we are about to raid straight after this. After a reminder from my lovely mod man. And yeah, so thank you very much for tuning in. Backing music, Syrinscape, all that good stuff. Watch it on YouTube, or you can watch it again on the Twitch VOD, which is available as soon as I say end stream. Give or take a minute. But yeah, so thank you very much. So for now, say goodbye, players.
Goodbye, players.